Financial planning requires preparing and aligning data from different source systems and departments, such as sales, HR, operations, and so on. If we use Excel alone for this process, it can quickly become very chaotic and non-transparent. In the end, we might end up with a very big file with many tabs, which becomes hard to maintain and error-prone. In today's video, I'll show you how Casetak can reduce this complexity and save you hours of manual work. How it works is breaking this big file down to separate spreadsheets, connected through workflows. Let me show you an example. Here we want to create a 3-statement model with P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. As inputs, we need the sales, OPEX, personnel, CAPEX, and financing budget. Behind each of them is their respective workflow, from input data to output budget file. Then they all come together to our 3-statement model. Let's now take a closer look and jump into the first part of our planning process, the sales budget. This is an example of how to transfer data from one spreadsheet to another with Casetak. We start with a file that has input data from our sales department and push it to the revenue budget file. These are the Excel files stored on SharePoint. Before sending the data to the budget file, we might need to clean the data. That's why we have these steps in between, such as filtering out irrelevant information and summing up the data by category. Casetak offers a box of tools for the most useful data transformations. By having a spreadsheet-based flow like this, we avoid sending emails back and forth, copy-pasting, and chaotic versioning. Every time your input data is changed, all you need to do is rerun the flow, and all your output models and reports will be updated accordingly. Now we'll use OPEX budgeting as an example of how integration works in Casetak. Here we have the general ledger actual data coming from QuickBooks integration. In this workflow, we clean the data first and push the actual data into our OPEX budget file and create the budget accordingly. Data coming out of different systems often follow different structures and formats. No more manual cleaning and transformation before consolidating them. With Casetak, you can set up this flow once and let it run automatically for future updates. Let's look at another example of how Casetak can merge two tables. In our personnel budget, we have a very similar flow where actual data is coming out of QuickBooks integration. But before pushing the transformed data to Excel, we want to map the employees with their respective departments. The department information is in this Excel file. We use join function here, which automatically inject the department information to each employee in our actual data table. Data mapping is a common requirement when working with financial models. You can apply the same method to other use cases, for example, mapping accounts from general ledger to P&L. The same logic applies to OPEX, CAPEX, financing budget, etc., and eventually we can put all these pieces together to form our financial statements. The input spreadsheets we see here are exactly the same output sheets from the previous steps. Here we use connect function and create copies of the selected sheets to the financial statement Excel file. This enables a dynamic connection, meaning that every time the flow runs, the financial statement file will synchronize with the input files. If your company has multiple subsidiaries like in this example, Casetak can scale the model just like this. Here we did similar budgeting for legal entity too. Finally, we'll use connect function again, and we can combine both legal entities to get our group financial statements. Spreadsheet-based flows have many other use cases. One example is how we can set assumptions and parameters in one file, connect it to all related files, and keep them in sync. This way, we can ensure that assumptions are aligned and consistent throughout our entire financial plan. As we see in this example, our model can be scalable and complex as needed, but still remains transparent. Colleagues can be invited to the workspace for collaboration and oversight. You can also schedule automatic updates, for example, every Monday at 8 a.m. Casetak automates the planning process across departments without the need to implement a specialized FP&A software. The finance team and colleagues in other departments can keep on using their existing spreadsheets without the need to learn yet another new tool. Another advantage of spreadsheet-based systems is that you remain full control of your processes. The flows and models are fully customizable. Your data and models stay in your Excel files on your own drive. That's it for today's demo. With the links in the description box below, you can visit our website, book a live demo with us, or directly start using Casetak for free.